Welcome to Victoria House, where every corner tells a story. Join us as we explore the beauty, charm, and unique essence of this incredible home. Whether you're here for inspiration, design ideas, or simply to enjoy a virtual tour, you're in the right place. Let's step inside and uncover what makes Victoria House truly special. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to stay updated on all our latest videos. Let's get started. Step back in time with our curated ideas to decorate your home in true 1800s vintage cottage style. Discover how to blend soft, muted tones with aged wood furniture, lace curtains, and hand-painted ceramics to evoke a sense of warmth and history. We explore the charm of mixing antique pieces with subtle floral accents and natural textures, creating a timeless ambience that feels inviting and nostalgic. Whether it's a cozy reading nook or a full room transformation, these decor tips will help bring the beauty of the past into your modern living space while preserving that classic cottage charm. Transforming your home into a living time capsule from the 1800s is easier than you think. This guide walks you through sourcing authentic antique furniture and vintage accessories that carry stories from the past. Learn the art of arranging these treasures to tell your home's unique history, balancing old-world aesthetics with everyday functionality. You'll gain tips on mixing period-appropriate fabrics, lighting, and knickknacks that create a seamless blend of nostalgia and modern comfort. This approach makes your home not just a place to live but a sanctuary that honors tradition and timeless beauty. Take your indoor spaces from ordinary to extraordinary with these vintage styling ideas inspired by 1800s cottages. We focus on layering textures such as velvet cushions, embroidered table linens, and distressed wood surfaces, all pulling together to evoke a warm, lived-in feel. Discover how color palettes like creams, soft blues, and sage greens enhance the vintage vibe, while strategic lighting choices add softness and depth. This video is perfect for those who want a chic vintage look without the home feeling like a museum, combining comfort, style, and history effortlessly. Experience a full week living within the walls of an 1800s vintage cottage, where every detail echoes a simpler time. Follow the daily rhythms of morning sunlight filtering through antique windows, the comforting crackle of a wood stove, and the rituals of farmhouse-style cooking. This immersive glimpse highlights the slower pace, thoughtful craftsmanship, and connection to nature that defines vintage cottage living. Join us in discovering how modern conveniences fit naturally in this charming historic setting, making everyday life cozy and enchanting. Textiles tell stories in any vintage home. Dive into the rich world of antique fabrics like linen, calico, and lace, which brings softness and visual interest to your space. We explore how to use vintage quilts, embroidered cushions, and hand-sewn curtains to elevate the authenticity of your cottage interior. Tips on sourcing genuine antique fabrics or vintage-inspired reproductions help bridge past and present styles beautifully. Balancing vintage aesthetics with modern convenience is key to comfortable living. Learn how to blend contemporary lighting, sleek appliances, and smart technology subtly within your vintage cottage setting. We show how modern elements can highlight and complement vintage charm rather than overpower it, creating a harmonious home that respects heritage while embracing today's lifestyles. Transform every room in your home into a warm vintage cottage retreat by using classic decor elements that evoke the charm of the 1800s. Think soft pastel colors like blush pinks, sage greens, and muted blues paired with floral patterns on curtains, cushions, and wallpaper. Incorporate distressed wooden furniture and quaint accessories like lace doilies, vintage picture frames, and porcelain figurines that tell stories of a slower, simpler time. Learn how layering textures, vintage rugs, and antiques can make each space feel cozy and inviting without overwhelming it. This approach suits all rooms from living spaces to bedrooms, creating a harmonious and timeless cottage atmosphere. Nothing says vintage cottage like floral fabrics. This subtitle dives deep into choosing original fabrics like calico, chintz, and lace to adorn your home's soft furnishings. Find advice on patterns and colors that reflect cottage life in the 1800s, ways to combine textures, and how to maintain and care for delicate vintage textiles to keep them looking fresh and authentic. Explore the unique architectural elements distinctive to 1800s cottages, such as exposed wooden beams, clapboard siding, gingerbread trim, and stone chimneys. Learn how to identify original features and understand their significance. Perfect for heritage home owners or those inspired to replicate authentic vintage styles in new builds or renovations. For those who love crafting, this section introduces simple and delightful projects to create vintage-inspired decor. Learn to repurpose thrifted items, create floral sachets, and sew vintage-style cushions with easy steps and accessible materials. These projects help personalize your home while keeping costs low and spirit high. Thank you for joining me on this journey through our vintage 1800s cottage dream. I hope you found inspiration to bring a little piece of the past into your own home. Remember, it's not just the decor but the stories we keep alive that make a house a home. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts. I'd love to hear about your own vintage living dreams.